Alright, salutations YouTube. Welcome to my final video on the 2023 Scrabble Players Championship. These will be the final 3 rounds that I will show. The reason I'm showing them all in one video is because they're really completely and utterly meaningless in the grand scheme of the tournament. Of course, still will try to provide some educational moments here and there, but at this point in the tournament, in round 26, my record is 21 wins and 4 losses. Which means it is impossible for me, if you look at the scoreboard, impossible for me to not make the finals. Yeah, I decided that I was just gonna have fun, like I decided I was just gonna try and have fun playing Scrabble. Of course, I still want to win, but really, yeah, the results did not matter at this point. I'm playing Joe Edley, who was not having a great tournament. But yeah, at this point, I was just playing the people that were not in contention to win any money. So yeah, Joe is one of those people. And I was first to act, and I played Fog. Could also consider playing off in this position as well. Score a few more points. Joe responds with Privet, and I play FE. Joe plays Beer, a very fishy looking play, but no matter, I bingo with Pismirs, and Joe, with nothing great on his rack, plays Region for 16, just giving up on going for the bingo there. And in this position, I could play, if I really was not caring, I could have just played easily for 34. Opened a ridiculous triple-triple, reducing my chances of winning the game by a ton, but also potentially setting my X up for XI. Unfortunately, there are only 3 eyes left. So yeah, this play is not only bad, but it probably doesn't work either. I mean, I could obviously score points with my X next turn, but yeah. Here I play Nixie, and Joe plays R-Hat, which surprisingly to me just blocks my bingo of Allonge and doesn't give me a spot for Allonge or Galleon. I was very much not expecting this, but luckily I had this very nice play of Along for 23 to take an over 100-point lead. Along doesn't take an S hook, so very safe play. And Joe makes another very weird looking play of Org for 8. And because of that play, I adjust. Normally I would just play Zinked for 36, but instead I played Zink, and I just didn't want to give him anything at all. Zinked would give him a line on the D column. So I play Zinc, and here Joe plays re-rating. And this is not a word. And it actually took me a while to challenge this. I held it, and I was like, this looks so bad. So I thought about this 7-letter word, alphagram of AEERRST. So like terrors, re-tears, re-rates. It didn't look good. So I decided I would challenge. It's not a word. So Joe's trying to pull a fast one on me. No other bingos available. Here I played Diluted, and Joe decides to play RAI to set up another lane on the top row. Logical play. Here I decide to just play Moil and block this G because I know he has EINRT, so I mean I can't block everything, but by blocking this G it really reduces the play on the board massively. A play to this G, although would open lots of scoring spots, would open the board as well, so I decided I would just do that. I ended up blocking retaking. Joe plays Link, and in this position I make a really silly play. I don't know. It's a very greedy play. This is a big mistake. I exchanged HUUV instead of just playing through. And I'm gonna put on the screen because I didn't check this. But if I just play Hun for 21, because I have both blanks, which I just drew after Moil on a 4-tile draw, my likelihood of playing a bingo next turn I think is pretty high, even by keeping UV, which is like one of the worst 2-tile combinations in Scrabble. So I should probably just do that. Or if I really wanted to be cheeky, I could play Run and just completely block this R. But there's no guarantee that Joe hasn't drawn an S with the Fogs play possible. So yeah, here I exchanged HUUV, just trying to bingo as often as possible next turn. And just, yeah, I mean, I'm ahead 160. It doesn't actually matter what I do here. At this point, I'm winning like 100% of the time. I have what we call the nuts, or what you call in poker the nuts. The two blanks, it's just like game over. There's nothing he can do. So he plays Water Ear, which is a high scoring play, brings him within 70. But of course, I draw a bingo, and I play Windiest. In this position, Joe um, made me call over the director. He's probably pretty upset about how the game was going. But in this position, I did what I'm required to do, and I designated both eyes as the blanks on a blank slip. I'll show you what one of those looks like on the screen as well, and that's what I need to do. I need to put my play on the board, circle the blanks that the letters are going to represent, announce the score, hit my clock. But Joe said he thought that I needed to announce the blanks. And to me, this was very bizarre because Joe has played more tournament games than me, I think. I mean, he's been around for ages. And I know that the rule used to be that you have to verbally announce the blank, but that rule has actually changed. Because if you verbally announce a blank, it could lead your opponent into error if the letter that is circled is different from the letter you announce. So I knew that this was a rule back in the day that you were supposed to verbally announce it, but I know that that changed like many, many, many years ago. And Joe's been playing many tournaments since then, and it was very bizarre to me that he made the claim that that was the rule still. I didn't really buy it. I called the director over, asked the director. Actually, I didn't say anything. Joe pleaded his case and was like, I want him to announce the blanks. I can't see very well. I can't see the score slip. And the director was like, no, he doesn't have to do that, and then left. So yeah, just a little bit of a bump in the road in this game. And yeah, I mean, it's obviously if you have trouble seeing the blank slip, that's unfortunate for sure. But yeah, I think I was correct to stand my ground there and not do something that I'm not supposed to do. You're not supposed to announce the blanks anymore because, like I said, it might lead your opponent into error. So HE comes down, and I decide to play Joy. I could have also played a very cool play in this position of Soju's. Just getting rid of my S, but keeping W, Y, which score very well together. But I play Joy, keeping the U and the W. Joe plays Vex. I play Walk. Joe plays Pub. And it's the end game. And I take a while here because I just want to solve the end game. And I'm calculating all sorts of things, like what can he play up here? Should I block? Because I can play Dosa for 41 points. So if I play equal, can I play Dosa next turn? If I play Dosa, can I play equal next turn? And if he blocks equal, I play QI. Like what goes on here? I was just looking at all the scenarios, and it seemed like this was the best endgame play. Hooray for me. So I play quads, and Joe's confused. He thought that like maybe I thought I was blocking something, but no, I was just trying to make the best play. And this time it worked. Joe plays Kanat, which is also his best play, and best endgame play here is OE for 15, which I of course saw, but because I was sort of like feeling a little bit cheeky, just because of my position in the tournament and because of maybe what happened earlier with the director call, I decided to go out with Joe's name. And little did I know that this was a sign of end games to come in the finals. So yeah, if you haven't watched those, check those out. I think it's part of the same playlist that this video is on. But this was round 26 of 28, and I win the game 459 to 301, throwing a little bit of spread out the window, which is technically not okay. So at this point, record jumps to 22-4 plus 1236. Is that correct? Let me look at the scoreboard here. Help me out with my math. 1237. Darn. All right. And yeah, that's round 26. Let's jump to round 27. At this point, I think I'm on a 13 game winning streak or something bigger than that. So feeling really, 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 really good. And this is the game. Let's remove the scoreboard. This is the photo of the game against Joe. And yeah, back with the nice red tiles. So yeah, that's round 26. Round 27 is against Rick Julian, who's also not having a great tournament, and who I've faced a few times before, or a couple times. I faced him in, I think I faced him in the Atlantic City tournament, and we had a very interesting game. So here, Rick opens with Gaunt, and immediately I play Rolfing, which I think is a mistake. I think I should have played a little bit shorter and played Flong. Keep the INR on my rack. It's just a better leave. It works well with this T, and there's no need for me to play extra tiles. But there is something to be said when you're playing somebody who is weaker than you, not to keep leaves like INR when unnecessary, because they can go wrong if you just draw 1 point tiles and you can't do anything about it. So yeah, it's possible that Rolfing is fine in this position, but I think Flong is a slightly more accurate play. Foe comes down, Va as a response. Now you can see keeping FNNP, really no good options in that position. That's what can happen as well if you just keep a lone constant on your rack. Rick responds with Hive, and I play Fab for 21. I could also have played Barf through this A and R just to keep the E, which really, not the E, just to keep the A, which really, really improves PENN as a leave. I draw a bingo a decent amount after Barf, although I am opening a triple word score. But yeah, Barf could have been also a better play. Rick uses that spot and plays Jarl. And here I play Unpeg, finally undoubling my ends, keeping a decent leave. And Rick strikes with Airhole. So I'm down 86 points here. 94 points. What am I talking about? 94 points. Doing the math wrong. And I almost have a bingo rack. But unfortunately, Epinasty doesn't fit. There's just a few things that just don't quite fit here. So I could just play off a Y, but I'm down by so much that I should be scoring points here. So that's why I play Tyene. And the play of AY, I think, does slightly better in a simulation. The reason for that being that, the leave is just so much better. But I did not want to lose the game instantly after a big play on the 8 row at 8L. Something like Z could come down and just kill me here. So I wanted to take away the scoring spot, which is a good concept when you're ahead. The problem now is that Tyene blocks my best bingo lane, and sort of constricts the board and keeps less than optimal tiles on my rack. Irony comes down, and look at what my rack has become. I draw 2 vowels, I draw 3 vowels and 1 consonant, and I have to play AE to open a new lane. I'm down by a lot here, and I'm down by even more when Rick plays Instated, but I come right back with Impasted, and I'm still in the game, down 50 points, but then, boom, Equid for 125, and not for 125, for a 125 point lead, and things are looking extremely, extremely grim. Luckily for me, I have a huge play here of Race Goer for 90 to keep me in the game, but I'm going to need to probably bingo again or get very lucky. And I was obviously worried about this Z spot, but hoping I would draw the Z myself. Rick plays Toad to block the spot, and so I inferred from that play that he didn't have the Z and didn't have the last A. I think the reason for him not having the last A is because he could have played, I don't know, Toad TOAD? No, but then there are 3 E's left. So I don't know why I thought he didn't have the last A. I guess I figured that he would maybe make a slightly longer play if he had the A. Anyways, that was my thinking here. And so I decided to play Woke to not only create this Awoke spot in this lane here, but also to keep INR, which, if you remember from earlier in the game, was the leave I probably should have kept on my opening play of Rolfing. But yeah, to create a woke, and I also have this threat of playing to this D. And the reason I kept the R or the N instead of playing it with Woken is because I really thought I needed the N for this spot. ERN, ON, and LIN, all valid words. And by ridding myself of the N, it seemed way less likely that I would hit something on this 3-row. Because I'm expecting Rick to try and block this D and the Awoke spot if he doesn't have the A. If he does have the A, he's just going to either play there or not really care about it because it's the last A. So that was why I played Woke. I could just play off the N and really go straight for the A and for the Z, hoping that I would be able to draw something high scoring enough. It's interesting. And here, Rick has the A, he has an S as well, he plays a deuce, and the game ends here. There's nothing I can do, I can't win the game, unless this word, corbinados, is valid, and Rick challenges and gives me a free turn. So that's why I played corbinados, fully expecting this not to be a valid word. It's like, it just didn't really make sense at all, but it could be. So this also saves me some spread, which is completely irrelevant because I am already locked into the finals. But this is a funny little phony play, a little cheeky play by me, maybe a little bit of frustration play. And Medsays comes down, and I play whoa, and I lose the game 393 to 427. So look, I do bleed. Like, I can lose games. It's crazy. I hadn't lost a game in such a long time. I had forgotten what it felt like. But yeah, congrats to Rick on taking me down. And yeah, this brings my record to 21-5, or 22-5, excuse me. And losing by 34 means 1203. So, yeah, let's change that. Play Rick. Rick wins. And last round, but not least, or it is the least important round, actually, of the tournament, was against none other than Joey, but not the Joey you think. Joey Malik was busy trying to beat Jackson Smiley by, I think, 107 points on the streamed board. I don't know if I mentioned this, the reason that I don't have any footage of these games, these last games of the tournament, is because they weren't streamed because they were not important. What was more important was who was racing for second place spot. So they were streaming Jackson's games. Yeah, he was just fighting for that second spot in the finals. Let's look at the game here. Oops. Yeah, same board. And yeah, pretty nice board and a pretty nice game by Rick. And yeah, final round. So let's go to round 28. Is against Joey Krafchick. And little did I know that Joey was going to be the name of my opponent, not only this round, but for the rest of the event. Was fully expecting Jackson to not be able to not lose by over 100 points. And I was in utter shock when I started watching the game after this game ended to see the brutal massacre on the board, Joey versus Jackson. That is in the NASPA Scrabble playlist. Maybe I'll try to link that. I'll try to remember to link that in the description of this video. But yeah, it was one of the most brutal games of Scrabble I've ever witnessed, and I was able to watch it because me and Joey played this game lightning fast because it mattered for neither of us. Joey was out of the tournament. I was out of the tournament, and this is probably the worst game I played in the entire event, actually. Because yeah, I think I really didn't care, or I sort of like was struggling to care, and was also probably exhausted, and yeah, I never seem to like play very, very well against Joey because he plays really fast. He puts a lot of pressure on. So I open with Gorm, with 6 consonants. Get rid of 3 of them. Joey plays home, opening the board. I draw a blank pretty quickly, so I'm already in a good position. I decide to play did here. I should probably have played it on top just to set up a better lane, a vertical lane for myself rather than a horizontal lane, which would open a lot more of the board. So I play this, but luckily for me, this allows Joey to make a big mistake and play pond like, which I challenged off the board instantaneously. And I'm not really like, am I proud of this? Not really. The only reason I knew this wasn't a word, it was so unfortunate for Joey, is that it has been played on me before and I accepted it. So I will show that game on the screen now. It was against Jonathan Lind, along a couple years ago. I don't remember exactly when. Well, it'll show you on the screen. But I just knew that this was invalid because I learned it the hard way. And unfortunately for Joey, he doesn't get away with it. And here, I should probably play Sep for 23 to block Plonked. Or I should play Vetch. And I missed Plonked and I missed Vetch as options. So Vetch is an option for myself and Plonked is an option for Joey with his rack. So I was looking at 2 racks here, and I really just, again, wasn't caring too much. I decided I'd just exchange.
I don't care.
And try to bingo next turn. And I was expecting this move of coin, and this is what Joey does. But Plonked is probably a better play. Here I play Congest, and Joey plays Wasp, and he's still only down 20 points, but I draw the other blank. Good for me, and I make another mistake. I play Larier instead of Virale, putting the V a 0-point V is probably one of the best things you can put in a triple lane. This is a much safer play than Larier, but I missed it. And then Joey plays Walla, and here I wondered if this took an H, and I was just not sure, and I figured I was not going to be able to pull the trigger on it. I play Uveal, Joey plays Sika, and here I have either the play of that or the play of Hertz. I missed both of these plays. Well, Walla I just chickened out of, and I just always miss the word Hertz, which would have been really cool to like extend it. I could draw into like petahertz or megahertz or something like that. Unfortunately, I just missed the word completely and played Za, so this is a big mistake again. Joey plays Louis. I play Jet. Could also play Objet, which I considered. I just didn't want to open a huge spot on the end column for a word ending in Y to score massively. Joey plays Fub, and here another mistake, a missed bingo of Box Thorn. Oh my goodness, that would have been beautiful. I did not remember this was a word, and I probably wouldn't have seen it even if I knew it was a word. Instead, I play Thorn, keeping BX. He plays 5, and funnily enough, I can play Box Thorn again. And it's probably similarly good to the play I made of Box for 5 more. This play of Box just opens bingo lanes on both sides of this massive plays. And I decided to play Box again because I was greedy. I wanted a bingo again. I knew this wasn't the best play. Gox is better. But again, I didn't really care. But it's not an excuse, I guess.
I really don't care.
I think it's an excuse for Box. I just really, really didn't care about like giving Joey an outside chance of coming back. But I suffer the consequences. I have to play Reg, keeping 4 consonants. Joey plays Uneasier. And you know what I keep saying about not caring? Well, if I didn't actually care, I would have played Reliant, opening a triple possibility. But at this point in the game, I was like, okay, I have my bingo. Now I want to win. So I play Tenurial, not opening a triple, ensuring that I'm going to win the game. Joey plays Pandy. And something happens. We're chatting in game. We're like coffee housing. And I know what Joey has. I put down QADI is like, yeah, right. You're never gonna play that. Like, why not? Like, I take it back and I'm like, yeah, you know what? Why not? And I played Kazi, giving him a huge outplay for no reason. So for the second game in 3 games, I make a hilarious play in the end game, which is clearly suboptimal, just to, I don't know, have fun with it. Very weird Scrabble that I've never played before. I've never had fun before playing Scrabble. I don't know what got into me. But at the end of all this, I win 461 to 407. The final record of 23 and 5, plus 1257, I think. Let's look at that scoreboard again. And as you can see, Joey Malik passing Jackson in the standings, winning by 287 points. Okay, 1255. My math is so bad. And me sitting pretty 4 games ahead of both Jackson and Joey, which is very bizarre because due to the finals format, sorry, let's look at the scoreboard. I didn't show you guys. But yeah, due to the finals format of this tournament, it didn't matter that I was 4 games ahead of Joey. If Joey won 3 out of the 5 games, even if I lost all 3 games and didn't win any, I would still have a better overall record than Joey, but he would have won the championship. So kind of weird. I mean, this was an extremely unexpected result. If I was in first place and like 1 game or like some spread ahead of second place, I still would have thought it was extremely unexpected. But to be 4 games ahead of the field was just ludicrous. I couldn't believe it was absurd. And yeah, unfortunately for everyone else, I was luckier than them. So yeah, what to do, what to say. I don't think I'm going to be posting analysis of the finals games. I already posted the finals games. The commentators did a pretty good job analyzing those games. It's obviously things I can always add on, but yeah, this is it. Finally done showing you guys how it happened. And this is the last game here. Showing you guys, yeah, what else to say? Yeah, this, I'm going to be doing something similar to this for a tournament I played actually almost a whole year ago. That's the next chapter in my, I guess, YouTube series. I'm going to still try to post every day. I have tons of things I can post. I can also do analysis of my World Cup games from earlier in the month of July. But I think I'm going to pivot and try and make some sort of history, Scrabble history things, like things that have happened that are really cool that I want to share with you guys in the Scrabble community, in tournament games, that sort of thing. Probably some shorts. And yeah, I will start my series on the tournament that I played last year. It's a tournament that I recorded every single game. There's a camera view of my rack and of the board. So I will be cutting that and maybe providing some commentary and insight as well in the background of that footage. So that's what I'm going to be doing prior to the Lake George tournament that is coming up in October of 2023. And yeah, that's about it. Trying to keep this under 30 minutes. I appreciate everyone for watching. I know it's a lot to watch. Those who have been watching every day, devoting a half an hour to me, I mean, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Thanks to all the new subscribers. Yes, please subscribe to this channel if you enjoy Scrabble content. It's not just going to be every day analyzing a tournament game that I played. I really want to make a variety of content, mostly Scrabble related, or maybe exclusively Scrabble related. We'll see. Probably not exclusive, but yeah, I'm happy to get this over with. Thanks for watching, and see you guys on the next chapter.